the Angry Video Game Nerd. Now, there is a certain series of events that have led to me making a video. For starters, I watch both the Irate Gamer and Angry Video Game Nerds videos. I find them both enjoyable. I feel personally that the Angry Video Game Nerd is far superior, both in just quality of content, total humor, overall reviews, every which way you want to cut it. But with that being said, the Irate Gamer makes a watchable and an enjoyable product as well. Why am I therefore ranting against the Irate Gamer here in this video? Well, the answer is simple. It's basically because not only is he accused of being a total hack, it's the fact that he is a total hack. And granted, there are total hacks out there every day in every way, shape, and form of life, and they go through without criticism, and rightfully so. Let's give an example of someone, and for those of you who aren't versed on exactly why people are mad with the Irate Gamer, it's basically he is a person that came onto YouTube within the past year and started doing a similar type of very similar type of review that the Angry Video Game Nerd had been doing for almost a year plus ahead of that. Similarities even extended as far as to using exact dialogue in the reviews. And dialogue, of course, is quoted similarly in a lot of things. It's just the fact that a lot of this was ad-libbed profanity from the Irate Gamer that was quote-unquote ad-libbed, even though it was a spot-on match to stuff that the Angry Video Game Nerd said. That out of the way, the thing that really pisses me off the most about the Irate Gamer is the fact that he doesn't acknowledge the Angry Video Game Nerd. It's alright to be a reviewer and do the styles of review, and granted, he doesn't have to not acknowledge the Angry Video Game Nerd. It's the fact that he takes every step and effort to totally abolish any known source, knowledge, microbe of anything that the Angry Video Game Nerd does. It even comes to the point where the comments on his videos are literally filtered, approved, and only those comments that give positive or proper conduct comments towards his videos, they're the only ones allowed. And I said to myself, well, why does he do that? If he's a video game reviewer, he should know what it means to be honestly critiqued. Why does he have to censor his own content to make himself look better? The one main thing that really got me to make this video this evening is that he just recently the other day reviewed a game called Contra, a very popular game from my youth and a game that millions of kids my age played when they were growing up. The one thing that I found unique about this video, well, two things actually. Number one, it broke the trend of reviewing shitty games. Both the Angry Video Gamer and Irate Gamer to this point have reviewed games that were just total shit, and they've ranted on them, told you why they were shit, and expanded on it from there. This game, though, he did rant on a little bit for lack of storyline consistency to tell you where the game and why the game was picking up where it was, and the total progress of why the two guys were there to liberate the world from aliens and whatever. He addressed that for maybe a minute or two, and then proceeded to talk about just like the overall history of the game, which was totally out of character from what he had done in the past, and totally out of character for what the Angry Video Game Nerd would have done in past and current videos. The one thing that's unique about this video from the Irate Gamer is that the comments aren't filtered on this. It may change in the very near future. It may have been an oversight on his part, but if you look at the comments on this video, I would say, and I literally, just to do a quick tabulation, looked at the first 3 pages of reviews, and literally, I would say every 7 out of 10 comments were that of comments addressing the Angry Video Game Nerd and the Irate Gamer being a total hack of him. That leads me to believe that his popularity on all of YouTube are from people like me that are critical of him, though I subscribe to his page and I watch his videos just to see what he does next, and that he has no real loyal fan base. He may have a loyal fan base, which is very small in proportion to the majority that follow him that just totally despise him and call him for the total hack he is. In fact, I feel he is so much of a hack, from this point on, I will no longer refer to him as the Irate Gamer, and I encourage everyone to refer to him as the Irate Hack, because that's what he is. He is so insecure with the content and the approval that he wants to get from the world of YouTube that he has to filter his own material. And like I said, for whatever reason, he did not do that with the Contra video. And I find it earth-shattering that the amount of people that just go there and watch his videos and just make constant references to the angry video game nerd and how much they dislike the irate gamer, I think it is phenomenal. The reason why I find that phenomenal is why that has not drove him to the point to address and come out and go. He has his own website. He should put a blog up saying, yes, to address the question that many people have asked me a million times, I was influenced by the angry video game nerd. If he said that, I would have so much more respect for him. Since he has it, I have zero respect for him. Granted, he doesn't have to do this. He should do this. Think of it this way. If someone was telling you every single day of your life, hey, why do you act like that? You remind me of such and such. Don't you think if you kept hearing that, you would at least say, you know what? Let me find out who such and such is, and then I'm going to tell you why or why not I think I act like such and such. Take Eddie Murphy, for example. He's a comedian from the 80s that was making millions upon millions, was one of the most popular comedians of that decade. He, right off the bat, and he'll tell you this to this day, that he was totally inspired by the comedic performances of Richard Pryor. Doesn't mean he's a total ripoff of him, but he tells you straight up that Richard Pryor's style of comedy and just total presence on the stage was what he modeled himself after and what he basically found as the foundation for his own act, and he built upon it. That is how you get respect in an industry. Irate Gamer is gaining popularity. I mean, I can only imagine how tough it must be for him, because he is going to go through every day of his life being singled out. And eventually people are going to start recognizing him now, and they're going to call him on the streets, and they're going to be calling him the Irate Hack. And he's going to have to go through life thinking that. He can address the situation now, but somehow I don't think he will, because in his mind, he thinks that I basically took an idea, went with it, not even going to address what happened and how I came about with my idea. Maybe, just maybe, there's a shot that he totally came up with this conceptual style of review that is just so tremendously similar to James, the angry Nintendo nerd. Excuse me, the angry video game nerd. Just to show you how far back I followed him, I actually called him by his previous name. But anyway, he should just address it now and try to garner a little bit of respect. Because like I said, it's not like his product is totally unwatchable. It is an enjoyable product. I feel James is much, much more entertaining, but he can live in the world that the angry video game nerd created in that very style of review that he puts out there for video games. Whatever. I speak my piece. Irate Hack, change the way you do things, because right now you're obviously garnering a lot more fans that despise you and are just watching your videos to despise you. Why you don't see that? Maybe you do see that, and maybe you're just too much of a coward to address why you won't call attention to the angry video game nerd. Whatever, Irate Hack. I'll be watching your videos. James, I'll be watching your videos too. Hopefully one of you guys see this video and get an ounce of enjoyment out of it. or just flip off the computer monitor for all I care. Peace out, people. Later.